Exorcists had been here for centuries, saving the world from countless demons and Akumas that happened to exist in the pure world. All of them had proved successful. All of them are demon worthy to be an exorcist. But there would be one that would join the Exorcist Academy, one that will show the world what he is very capable of. His name is Alan Walker, and he is only known to the world as Greeting geeks and nerds and ladies universe and white and nerdy. Yes, I'm talking about D frickin' Gray Man. And you might think, well, shouldn't you save D Gray Man until October? This spooky season? To which I would reply, true, but comparing and considering that I have a lot that I'm going to be talking about in October, both movie wise, anime wise, and also comic book and manga wise, yeah, might make it better to do this. Also, I know I'm wearing a Son Goku shirt, but I don't have D Gray Man material. So anyways, in case you're wondering about D. Gray Man, you might have seen a series that is very resemblant of this, Blue Exorcist, which does take a lot of inspiration from this series, at least in my opinion, when I first watched Blue Exorcist it did. But never mind that. D. Gray Man is a happily special series of mine that I actually first watched on YouTube and then ended up falling in love with it, then finding a DVD series soon afterwards. D. Gray Man is a very amazing series that tells the story of a young man named Alan Walker who ends up joining the Exorcist, I guess, Academy, and he ends up becoming basically an exorcist. And also, I will have to warn people ahead of time before I deep dive into this. This video will cover dark topics. This is not a video where people can go, oh, he's reviewing an anime. This is a great time. No. There's a lot of dark subjects I will be talking about. Some suicide, some killing, some very dark subjects. So I'm warning you ahead of time. If you are not comfortable with this, I don't mind if you click off the video and you come back when you feel like it. I'm warning you right now that this is a pretty dark video. Kind of, sort of. While it's not really shown, it is heavily implied by a lot of characters in this, of some of these things happening. So if you are not comfortable, you can feel free to click off the video, but I have to warn you that you have been warned. So if you do not heed my warning now, don't come crying to me later going, I feel so different because you reviewed this. I did warn you. But, alas, there is a big difference between the manga and the anime and how it starts out. Yes, I own the manga. Why would you people not think that I own the manga? So, just to say, but I'll be doing it later, the manga is very different from the anime, but first we're just going to cover the anime, which is beautifully amazing for how it begins out and the world that this creates based off of the manga as well. It's just so brilliant in my regards. Our main character of the series is named Alan Walker, who happened to be cursed to be half Akuma and half human. Let's just take that for its word. But this series does, like I said, go into very dark topics, and especially within just the first episode, this series goes into some very dark topics. The main enemy of the series is known as the Millennium Earl, and he will go to people to make them a deal to transform them into an army of demons, the army of the Akumas. What's worse is that the Earl will promise them anything that they want, their loved ones back, their children back, the person that was dead to come back, but to come back at a cost.
Is that you? Claire! Why did you do it? You turned me into an Akuma! There's no escaping!
You didn't. Though Alan's entire journey throughout the anime is to find his master, to find the one that trained him, and to see what happened to him after, well, Alan completed training. Now remember when I said that Alan was cursed with his hand? Did I ever tell you that the hand is one of the most powerful fucking weapons in all of anime? Sailor Moon had magical abilities. Yukuse Urameshi has the spirit gun. Ichigo Kurosaki has a big fucking sword. Goku has the spirit bomb and other spiritual powers. But nothing compared to the arm, or the cursed arm, of of Alan Walker. Nothing compared to this thing because it can turn into anything. It can turn into a sword. It can turn into a gun. It can turn into a claw. It can turn into a motherfucking cannon. Gee, it kind of makes you wonder if a certain Mike Mignola was inspired by D. Gray Man. Makes you wonder very, very much if Mike Mignola was inspired by, it. But the plot is actually very good, and in fact, the villain behind the series, the Millennium Earl, as he's known as, is one of the creepiest things ever created. And in fact, the series creator based him on an old folk tale or fairy tale that she heard when she was younger. So it's very nice to see that she can still, reference things that from her past, which is honestly very, very nice, and I really do like it for all that it's worth. But there does happen to be something that makes D. Gray Man relatable, and it's not the dark subject that I'll cover in just a little bit. I will heed warning about it when it comes up. But it's actually the characters in this which are very lovable. You do have some very amazing and superb characters in this series, and I'm not going to cover all of them, but I am going to cover the main three that the series introduces. And yes, I know that there are more characters that are involved in the series. I only own the first part of the first season, so don't expect me to go in here into every single character in this, because I'm not that good, and I am not that skilled to do reviews like that. There are other people that are better at this than me. I mean, I'm grateful for you guys, and I'm grateful for the views that these videos get, but I'm just telling you guys, I put the video together kind of lazily, but creative lazily, where you have other people that can just make these very detailed videos, and I'm just and I try to do it, and it comes out lazy. There's a point here I'm trying to make. I'm a lazy son of a bitch. What do you want from me? But anyways, let's talk about D. Gray Man's very intriguing character that it brings up in the series. As I mentioned, the series' main protagonist is Alan Walker, who happens to be the main character and main focus of the entire series, and Alan is a pretty cool character. While yes, the main focus of Alan is for him to join the Exorcist Academy, you have to remember that he is cursed, and there is an honest to God a very good reason why Alan is cursed. Then there's Kanda, a badass that dual wields swords, and this man is the immortal epitome of the god cool. Then there's the beautiful, the lovely, and the attractive Lena Lee, who happens to be the sister of the leader that runs this Exorcist Academy that Alan is a part of.
Since he got back from his last assignment.
The main characters, the one that we mostly focus on, are superb and great and fantastic to follow through the entire adventures. The people from the Exorcist Academy do have their own fun and enjoyment. While there are some funny episodes and the ones that really stand out, And truthfully, yes, I do have my own fair share of favorite episodes. I won't really be covering them here, probably. But there are some really handful of great episodes that this series really does have. But now it's for me to talk about the thing that this series is kind of known for. And this is going to make a lot of people probably either feel awkward or click off this video. So here is my warning, because we're going to cover some very dark subjects. If you are one that gets easily depressed, if you are one that cannot deal with dark subjects, or if you are a person that deals with mental issues or something that I'm going to be talking about, I understand if either you skip ahead or you click off the video. I completely understand, and you are within your own right to do that. I'm giving you my fair warning right now. So if you do not like dark subject material, and if you easily are a person that's like, I don't like these type of subjects, I completely understand, and you are free to click off the video now. I'm just giving you a fair warning. If you feel like you're up to it, then go ahead and keep watching. But for all of you others that do not feel comfortable with this dark subject, you are able to just click off the video now until you feel better, and then you can come back. It doesn't bother me at all. The Great Man is known for covering very, very dark material and dark subjects, but done creatively. And if that makes sense, then good for you, because D. Gray Man had some very dark subjects that it indeed covered, especially within the first season and especially within the manga. We'll get to that. But there are a lot of dark subjects that D. Gray Man covered. Not really within the first, I would say, like 3 episodes or 4 episodes, but afterwards, oh yes, D. Grayman does handle into very, very dark territories, and I'm sad that, and while I do love this anime, and I really, really do, and I even enjoy the manga as well, D. Grayman does handle some very, very dark subject material for what it is given in here, and yeah, this series does have its dark moments. How about an episode where a man creates a puppet that's able to captivate people with his music, only to be turned against her, and then she ends up teaching him all about love that he can't let her go? How about an episode where a little boy basically sold his soul to the devil just so he can be reunited with his mother, technically committing suicide, so he can save his mom?
He's not your friend anymore. He's not even human. Now Leo's body is a weapon for the Millennium Earl. The boy has a friend.
And what I just said, that only covered the surface of how dark that D. Gray Man as a series can get, people. So for parents who think that this would be a fun video or a fun anime series for the children to watch, like for example like Toriko or even Dragon Ball or Inuyasha or even Sailor Moon, yeah, I'm sorry to be the disappointer, but this series is definitely not for children. While there is kind of no blood and gore, it handles just very, very dark material subjects. And I do mean some dark material subject. There is an episode in here, although I'm not going to show you it, but there is an episode in here where Alan Walker is like Jesus Christ and he's crucified to a cross. I did tell you that this series was very dark, did I? And also, yes, it does handle like very heavily on like Christianity and other religious subjects. So for people that are kind of like very religious, and I know a lot of people like that, you might feel very awkward to look at the series and go, oh, that gets into this territory. I'm just gonna stay away from this territory, and I'm gonna hang out in this little territory of my own. Now, I admit that I am a man with very many mental, illnesses. I have persistent depression disorder. I do have PTSD. I have very many other, disorders. But yet, for some strange reason, while I deal with all of this, D. Gray Man does not affect me in any way whenever I watch it. I just watch it to enjoy a very damn good anime. And in fact, for us older people, and also for people that want something new to watch before the Halloween season or to kind of get into Halloween, yeah, D. Rayman is probably your best bet for something new and exciting in the world of anime. And all things considered, why not check out D. Gray Man at least just once? You might, if you're like other people and you're like, I don't like the dark, serious stuff. No, don't worry. You can watch the first, I believe it is 4 episodes without having to worry about it going into very, very dark territory. So you don't have to worry about that if you're not into that. And also, some of the episodes later on don't handle very darker territories as far as I remember, truthfully, but it's been a long time since I've watched other episodes of D. Gray Man, so trust me when I say I think. So, but D. Gray Man as a total, it's a pretty awesome anime. It's something that some people should check out at least maybe just one time. Yes, D. Gray Man is far from perfect, and yes, it's not the perfect anime that I've ever seen, but god damn it, does it really still hold up to this day? The answer is absolutely. A lot of the stories are great, the characters are very memorable, the action is right there when you need it to be, and it is just a fantastic series. And yes, it is one of the perfect animes that you can watch for something all things spooky, sinister, and creepy during the Halloween season, so give it a look if even for Halloween. Personally, I love D. Gray Man, and I hope that I got you guys involved and interested in watching it, and you should check out, like I said, at least just once if you are very interested in it. I knew that was going to happen eventually. I knew that was going to happen eventually. I knew that was going to happen eventually. It always does in my videos. But anyways, I do have the manga here, the only first volume by Katsura Hoshino. And I do have to admit that it is a lot different from the original source material, and I do mean a lot. While the first episode is, yes, actually the first chapter of the manga, there are a lot of different other subjects that aren't in the manga, because basically the third episode, I think, or the second episode, is the final chapter of the manga, or volume one, where we actually are introduced to our main characters and everything else like that. We do actually get to meet Akanda. We do get to meet Lena Lee and the Exorcist Academy. But the other episodes actually happen in the manga way before we get to the Exorcist Academy. So it's kind of nice that it follows the same formula as the manga, but yet very differently. But there is something that we do have to discuss that is actually in this manga, and and we do have to realize of why Alan Walker was cursed. And yeah, so we do have to talk about the story of how Alan became cursed, just really quickly. So, how did Alan Walker end up getting his demon arm? Well, Alan Walker's father, or mentor, Mana, ends up becoming dead. So Alan ends up deciding, hey, I can resurrect Mana. When Mana is resurrected, Alan's innocence activates, or his superpowers, where he purposely or accidentally kills Mana. With his newfound powers, he had found the ability that he can kill, or basically baptize Akuma and shed their soul to the innocent, yet in the process killing his father and meeting his master. D. Gray Man is a terrific anime series. While it does cover some dark subjects and also, yes, dark topics, and it does have some dark motivation behind it, it is still a superb series and one of my favorite animes that you guys can go and check out. So I'm hoping that you guys go and do check this out if you want to. And I know that I do not do the vinyl pop rating for TV shows. Maybe in the future I will, but I kind of see no point in doing it. I like saving it more for movies than I do just doing it for TV shows. So take my recommendation and go and check out D Gray Man if you can, whether it be through Netflix, Hulu, or even buying it on DVD like I did. And even I only have one volume, check out the manga. You might find it interesting and you might find it worthy of checking out. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Lady Universe, I've been White Nerdy. Keep eking on. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Join my Exorcist Academy by subscribing, or you can go even to darker territories and join me at Twitter with the link in the description down below. So thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Lady Universe, I've been White Nerdy. Keep eking on. And as always, guys, take care and beware of those Akumas.